Okay, audio gear. There's a huge difference in preamps and microphone noise. Shooting on a DSLR with its audio inputs will never get good audio. There's just too much noise in the preamp. Just like when an image is compressed, it will bring artifacts. Compressed audio will bring noise into the recording. Now, my first film, Zero Silence, was recorded like that. It was sold to TV, so in that sense, it might not matter that much. But if you try to make an image look like an Alexa or a Red, it's foolish to make your audio sound like an iPhone. So try to use good recorders or cameras with good preamps. This is a huge subject. I have a lot of different gear here that I want to just touch on. A really important thing is use your freaking headphones. If you don't use your headphones, you will never hear if this one is scratching or if, there's other noise, whatever. Rule of thumb, use headphones. Here's two external recorders. Both are from Tascam. I don't support only Tascam. I think the zooms are alright. The sound devices are amazing, but really expensive. What you need to think about is that these have generally better preamps than a DSLR or, low budget cameras have shitty preamps. I prefer this one, but I prefer this one, which is... Nowadays, I stopped using lavaliers that are wireless lavaliers. I used to have the Sennheiser G3 system. The main issue I have with the wireless systems is that there is always some noise coming in and you always have to struggle with getting clean audio. So, don't use those anymore. Instead, what I have is Electrosonics small, tiny recorder. Now this one is kind of expensive, but I would say if you are going to own one thing, I would buy this one, and I would buy a Sanken Koss lavalier microphone. The Sanken Koss 11D, which this is, it is an amazing microphone. This one is XLR based. That's also a thing that you should think about. If you're doing a sitting interview, for instance, I'd rather use an XLR input into the recorder than to use this external one if I could, because wired is better, not syncing is more comfortable than syncing. You still have to sync with this one. But the good thing is that I got these, the Tentacle Sync. There's a newer version of the Tentacle Sync, but you use this one, you timecode sync these two, like I've done now. I have a different one, like what I'm recording with right now is one of these. And what you do is you plug a cable into this one. You use this one as your main timecode generator, which is more solid than a camera or these cheaper recorders are. If you have a sound devices recorder, it would have a really good clock, so it wouldn't drift. But what can happen if you use a timecode generator that isn't solid is that it will drift and you won't be able to sync it exactly. But with this one, it's pretty good. It's really good actually. But the thing is, you just sync these, you jam sync them with a cable, then you unplug it. This one runs with this clock because this clock is good. So then you put this one in the camera, which I have there on the C300. Those two will generate timecodes. They will sync with a click of a button. You could do that with waveforms too, but it's more reliable to have timecode. So I use that instead of this. No wireless. Bye-bye. I used to try these ones, also wireless. Stupid thing to use. It is just the same, a lot of noise. Now these are more commonly used as, either singing microphones, cheap ones, or interview microphones. Don't like these either. what I use instead. Oh, let me just show you this first. So this is the common thing that, you know, you see vloggers use, and this is not a good microphone. There is not a good microphone that is this small. It's not a directional good microphone. This one is, but it's also expensive. This is the Sennheiser 416 P48. This is the best, probably, directional microphone in this size that you can get. It's an amazing microphone, it's expensive, but if you're going to invest in something and you're a professional, this would be it. And then another microphone that I have, which is for indoor use mainly. This is what I record my voiceovers with. This is also an expensive microphone. It's the MKH Sennheiser 50 P48. Amazing microphone, like best audio. But it's not a directional one, it's an indoor one that you boom. It's used for booming. So that brings me to the booms. I have a small one. And I have a big one. This one is mobile, this one is not. I actually use this boom also to boom light when I want to light things and I want to get close. So it has different purposes. But you should boom if you have a boom operator. The sound will be much better because you get closer and you can use a directional mic like this one. Okay, so cheaper microphones then. This is what I used to use. This is not the cheapest one, but it's a really good battery powered one. Now this could compare to this one. I think it's kind of obvious that these two have different sizes. They should be a little bit different in quality too, which they are. So these are the same. You can use them with battery. You can plug this one into a DSLR. It's the Sennheiser MKE600. It's a really good journalistic microphone. There are other Rode mics and all that, but I prefer Sennheiser. I think they make really good quality products. So this one is a directional mic. It's a good microphone. It's a really good microphone for the money. Like, it's not that expensive. But this is a much, much better microphone. And why do I use the much, much better microphone? Well, kind of you to ask. The thing is, when you use this one, you can get quality audio probably at least 2 meters away. You would get good, crisp audio if it's not a noisy environment. With this one, that isn't the case. You won't get as close. You will probably lose a meter or a meter and a half maybe compared to this one. And this one has a nicer sound to it and it has lower noise, like the inherent noise that every microphone has, because every microphone has inherent noise. This one has less than this one. There's always like a noise. If you don't even record anything, it's a totally quiet studio room. There's a noise in this one. And this one. What else? Windshields. So, the professional one is this. This is the professional version. It's a blimp. Where's that thing? So, you have 2 layers on these ones. This is Rycote that makes these. What you do is you open it up, you put the microphone inside it. It has, it's covered all over it. Then if you have a lot of wind, you put this one on, which is a dead cat. And that is because it looks like a dead cat. So you put that on and better wind protection. This is a smaller version of that. This is the one that I usually use because I rarely have that high wind situation. So you just put this one on, it's kind of mobile, it's black, it's nice. For lavs, they have the similar thing. You have a small foam thing that you put on your lav, and then you have this one that looks ridiculous, but you get good audio. Another thing that you can do if you record audio, invisible lav covers. They come in these packages. And then what you have here is a small sticker that you then put this foam windshield that also is not only for the wind, it's especially made to not be making the lav noisy, because you have it on the clothes, and it gets, you know, better against clothes if you have clothes than if you have this one, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I use them and they are perfect. And the thing is, when you actually attach a lav, this is the difficult thing, especially if you're a man and you have to put it on a woman. But the thing is, the best place to put it is right here. And that can be a little bit messy sometimes, but it is the best place to put it. So if you can, you should put it there. You put that on, then you put it on like so. And then you have this one, which covers it like that, but this is underneath, you know, on your skin. So then you have this one, and then that sticks, and this goes against this. It doesn't make as much noise because this is kind of glittery. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, that's basically what I had to say about equipment, I guess. Oh yeah, and one last thing. If you actually are recording audio, the cheap way of doing dual audio is to practice this. You clap. Before you start a take or after you start a take, you clap. If you're two people, this is what we used to do all the time when we did a lot of television, like reality TV. You always clap. You have that in your bones. It was always easy to sync stuff up. But sometimes I sync stuff, you know, just manually too. It's not that hard. Just learn to watch the waveforms and it's gonna go quite quickly. Take some practice, but I often do that still, because these tentacle sync things don't always work. Okay, lastly, do sound mix your stuff. Learn what a compressor, limiter and equalizer does. Work with professionals that you can learn from, and that can be a way for you to study the craft of audio post-production. Okay, that's gonna be it for this time. Remember to subscribe for more tutorials and documentaries. Alright, see you next week.